What if the women you thought were out of your league weren't actually out of reach, but just emotionally misunderstood? What if their confidence wasn't a wall, but a test, and most men were failing it without even realizing? And what if what truly pulls her in has nothing to do with what you show, and everything to do with what you make her feel? Here's the truth. Women, no matter how independent or untouchable they seem, all have emotional weak points. Not because they're broken, not because they're manipulable, but because they're human. And while most men are focused on saying the right things, showing the right lifestyle, or impressing with charm, very few ever learn how to speak directly to her emotional core. Because attraction isn't built on surface-level strategy. It's triggered on a primal, subconscious level. And when a man knows how to activate the right emotional switches, she doesn't just notice him, she feels him deeply. Without logic, without explanation. And that's the difference. Most men try to make an impression, but the rare few, they create an experience. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 10 emotional triggers that bypass a woman's mind and speak directly to her instincts. You won't need to chase. You won't need to prove anything. You'll just need to understand how she's wired, and then move through the world in a way that naturally pulls her in. So if you're ready to stop hoping for her attention and start becoming the man she can't forget, stay with me. Let me ask you something. Have you ever done everything right with a woman, only to end up in the friend zone anyway? You were consistent, respectful, predictable. You made her feel safe, but not much else. And while you were being stable, she was daydreaming about someone else. Why? Because attraction doesn't grow in safety. It grows in contrast. You see, most women aren't searching for perfect. They're not looking for flawless. What they crave, especially on a deep emotional level, is escape. Not from you, but from the routine. The day-to-day sameness. The predictable rhythm of life that makes everything feel numb. They're drawn to men who bring experiences, not just presence, who shift the emotional weather. The guy who can make her laugh one moment, then challenge her the next. The one who pulls her into stories that feel like they belong in a movie, not just another dry text conversation that ends in lol. Here's the truth. The men who are too stable, too consistent, too always there, they become invisible because they don't stir anything real. But the man who creates contrast, the man who knows how to bring highs and space, presence and pause, heat and distance, that man becomes unforgettable. It's not about being chaotic. It's about being alive. Tell stories with color. Speak with intensity. Be unpredictable, but always intentional. And yes, sometimes disappear. Let her miss you. Because when a woman gets swept into an emotional world she didn't see coming, she doesn't just enjoy your company. She escapes through you. And when you become the escape from her reality, you become the part of her reality she doesn't want to lose. Here's something most men get completely backwards. They think the way to win her over is to always agree, always say yes, always make her happy. But the truth is, when you give her everything, you give her nothing to respect. Because while she might smile at the nice guy who bends for her, she craves the man who knows where he stands. Women are emotionally drawn to strength, not just physical strength, but the kind of inner strength that holds the line. She won't say it out loud, but she's constantly testing your boundaries. She'll cancel plans last minute. She'll challenge your opinions. She'll push a little further each time, just to see. Will he fold? And the moment you do, The moment you abandon your standards just to keep the peace, the attraction begins to fade. But when you calmly say, "No, that doesn't work for me," when you stick to your plans, when you hold your values steady, even when she's emotional, something shifts. She stops testing. She starts respecting. Because now, she knows you're not just another guy trying to please her. You're a man who leads himself, and that's rare. Women don't fall for men who give them everything. They fall for men who make them earn it. Boundaries don't push her away, they pull her in. So the next time she tests you, don't panic. Stand firm. Because your standards don't make you hard to love, they make you worth loving. Think about the last time you were hooked on a movie or a show. Was it because you knew exactly what would happen next, or because you didn't? That tension, that not knowing, is what kept you locked in. And here's the thing, women experience attraction the same way. The moment she knows what to expect from you, the emotional charge begins to fade. It's not that she doesn't like you, it's that her brain isn't lighting up anymore. Predictability is comfort, yes, but it also kills excitement. If you respond to every message instantly, if you reveal all your feelings too soon, if you're always available whenever she calls, you may think you're being loyal, romantic, or attentive, but to her subconscious, you've just removed the mystery. And when there's no mystery, there's no mental tension, no wondering, no spark. But the man who knows how to create space, to pause, to occasionally pull back, not to play games, but to allow her imagination to fill in the blanks, that's the man she keeps thinking about. Women don't fall in love with men they fully understand. They fall in love with men who keep them emotionally engaged. So let her wonder. Don't always text back right away. Let silence build tension. Let presence be earned. Because when she's not quite sure where she stands, she's more invested. And that emotional uncertainty, when used with balance and respect, isn't manipulation, it's momentum. And momentum is what keeps her chasing. Let me tell you something most men don't realize until it's too late. Women don't want to lead the relationship. They may be strong, successful, fully capable of leading in other areas of life. But when it comes to attraction, they want to feel like they can relax into your direction. That doesn't mean control. That doesn't mean barking orders or making everything about you. It means clarity, decisiveness, and purpose. Because here's the truth, nothing turns her off faster than indecision. When you constantly ask, "What do you want to do?" or "Is this okay with you?" you think you're being polite. But in her mind, it sounds like uncertainty. And uncertainty in leadership kills attraction. The men women are drawn to, admire, respect, and chase are the ones who move with quiet confidence. The ones who say, "Here's the plan," not "Do you think this is okay?" They don't need permission to exist. They don't shrink to be accepted. And they don't outsource every decision to her to avoid conflict. A woman doesn't fantasize about being in charge. She fantasizes about a man who makes her feel safe, because he knows where he's going. So the next time you're tempted to defer, don't. Take the lead. Choose the restaurant. Make the call. State your opinion even when it's different. Because the moment she feels your strength of direction, something changes. She stops analyzing, starts trusting, and becomes emotionally drawn to you in a way she can't explain. Leadership isn't just attractive, it's magnetic. And when you lead well, you don't have to chase. She follows. Let me say this plainly. A woman doesn't want to be your world. She wants to be invited into a world that's already full. moving and meaningful. Because while it may sound romantic to drop everything for her, to revolve your life around her, to make her your number one priority from day one, it doesn't spark desire. It smothers it. You see, women are instinctively drawn to men with direction. Men who are already building something. Men who wake up with purpose, move with focus, and don't apologize for having bigger things on their mind than just chasing a relationship. When you abandon your goals for her attention, when you cancel plans to be available, when you're always on standby for her approval, you send the message that your life isn't that compelling on its own. And that's not attractive. Because here's the truth. Women don't want to be your purpose. They want to join a man who already has one. A man who is centered, grounded, driven. So ask yourself, what's at the center of your life right now? Is it her? Or is it the mission you were on before she showed up? Because the moment she feels like she has to become your motivation, she starts to pull away. But when she sees that you're thriving with or without her, when your world keeps spinning whether she texts back or not, that's when she leans in, not to complete you, but to be part of something bigger. That's the man she doesn't just want. That's the man she chases. The 5 emotional triggers we've covered aren't about control or manipulation. They're about understanding. They're about recognizing what truly moves a woman beneath the surface and learning how to lead from that place. Not chase, not convince, but lead. Because once you understand what draws her in, what excites her, what keeps her emotionally engaged, everything changes. You stop trying to impress her. You stop shrinking to be accepted. You stop playing safe and start showing up with purpose. That's when she starts leaning in. Not because you pushed, but because you became a man who doesn't need to. Attraction isn't about saying the right things. It's about being the right presence. And the truth is, the man who leads with emotional clarity, grounded strength, and quiet confidence doesn't beg for attention. He earns respect. He owns the room. He walks forward whether she follows or not. And because of that, she often does. So if this resonated with you, if you're ready to stop guessing and start moving with intention, this is just the beginning. Subscribe to Stoic Wisdom now for more deep insights into psychology, attraction, and mastering the mind. Stay sharp, stay focused, and remember, the strongest man doesn't need to prove a thing. He simply becomes the one no one forgets.